We have another instance of Emmanuel Acho pulling an Emmanuel Acho. A favorite of his to pick on whenever he gets the opportunity is United States sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson. Don't get it twisted. He has said insane stuff prior to this.
You said that we couldn't have Olympic athletes smoking marijuana because somebody was going to get high and throw a javelin and stab somebody in the heart.
What you just said was hyperbole.
What did you say? You said that the javelin was going to do what? What was the javelin going to do?
I said I projected the question of it's okay if somebody's running wall high in a straight line, but what happens if they're throwing the javelin?
And you know what you said to me when we were on the phone? You said that you've never smoked weed before.
Correct.
So you don't know what the you're talking about.
Van Lathan called him out, not just for his asinine rhetoric on weed smoking, but also his show Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, where he will toss softball after softball to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell.
And when I'm watching it, I know that you have the best of intentions. You're a good guy. My question is, what the is the point of all of this? Is it to make them feel better about all of these things that are going on? Like, for what? Like, why? Like, why are you talking to someone and there's zero call to action? It's just, now I'm going to go be a better person. It just don't work that way.
Plus a discussion with a local police department in the United States.
In the conversation with the police that I watched you have, there was nothing tangible that addressed the systemic issues of policing that lead to unfair and deadly outcomes all over the country. It was about whether or not the police liked black people, whether or not they were nice to black people, and even, as I wrote it down, the police are human too. Emmanuel, who gives a like, we're fighting for our lives. And to me, having a conversation like that at that particular time, it's not that it's a different method. Everybody has a different method. Is that it's the wrong method, is that it gives cover for a lot of the issues that you're supposed to be discussing.
To this famed celebrity who hails from Texas, the same state Acho is from and school he attended.
I saw episodes where you were on there with Matthew McConaughey, and Matthew McConaughey out and out said, when will Black Lives Matter end? He goes, well, when is it going to be time for it to be over? But that's an outrageous question to ask at the time that he's sitting down with you.
Yet when it comes to Richardson, Acho will never refuse to get a shot in. In case you missed it, in her return to the track, Sha'Carri ran a time that is now in the history books for the 100-meter race. Acho would put an asterisk on top of her time. Many in the comments despised it. Some even claim the wind was against Sha'Carri Richardson. Karan J. Phillips of Deadspin has covered Acho's antics previously, noting the former Cup of Coffee NFL player mocked Richardson for finishing poorly at the Prefontaine Classic. Former Steelers great Ryan Clark, currently a football analyst at ESPN, tweeted at Acho and recommended bringing in Richardson for an uncomfortable conversation, a direct reference to the show Lathan question. Richardson would never make an appearance. Clinton Yates, a journalist at ESPN, would also tweet at Emmanuel Acho, quote, "You constantly dissing black women on Maine ain't funny at all." Acho would also go after FloJo in a detailed, receipts-heavy piece on his Twitter. Phillips would take exception, writing, "For those of you that find it odd that Emmanuel Acho is skipping down the path that Jason Whitlock paved as the happy-go-lucky black man who belittles black athletes in favor of white acceptance, don't be. It is purely organic, as this is who they are. So don't be surprised if you never see Acho have an uncomfortable conversation with the likes of Sha'Carri Richardson or Naomi Osaka. They're his punching bags, not his audience. Trust me, Acho would rather sit down with Tim Tebow or Hope Solo to, quote, seek understanding. This is a topic, I reiterate, Phillips has covered a lot and has written about from years prior. He even called his shot through a pattern that simply did not and should not go unnoticed. Who Emmanuel Acho picks as his favorite targets.